Welcome to the Sun today for the 4th of February 2025. Solar activity could be considered high still, although a little lower than yesterday. The sunspot number was down to about 160. There are 3 new numbered regions on the disk plus 2 new unnumbered regions. Flare activity, there were 15 C flares, that's much higher than yesterday. 5 M flares, which was down from yesterday, which is not surprising because yesterday was a very busy day. And 6 coronal mass ejections, which again is an increase over yesterday. The solar wind speed has dropped to 400 kilometers per second, and the Earth's magnetosphere is very quiet at the moment. Let's take a look at the details of the data at the moment. Well, first let's take a look at the sunspots. There are 12 regions on the Sun, of which 5 are new and 3 are newly numbered regions. The sunspot number, as I said, had dropped to about 160. However, the area of the sunspots on the Sun increased significantly to about 1215 millionths of the solar surface. We have 3 new regions, that's 3983, 3984 and 3985. Plus we have a new sunspot coming over the east limb, marked with a question mark, and there's a small region in the south that has not yet been numbered, again marked with a question mark. The coronal hole in the eastern hemisphere, which I talked about yesterday, is now becoming more visible, and we can see it covers about 50 degrees in latitude. That means almost certainly when it comes to the appropriate place on the Sun, i.e. in the western hemisphere, it will certainly send high-speed coronal wind out past the Earth. The Sun rotates at about 13 degrees a day, so it'll be a few days yet before that happens. In the meantime, the planetary K index is very low, between 0 and 1, and that is an indication of just how quiet the magnetosphere is at the moment. And I don't see that changing much in the next few days. The geospace area, that's the magnetosphere, looks very, very quiet at the moment. As you can see, the auroral arc is very weak and not showing very much sign of producing any significant aurora. Well, let's deal with flaring activity now. We had a lot of flares today, quite a few C flares and 5 M flares. So we're going to look at a movie of that using the SDO AIA instrument 131 angstrom channel. Again, that's about 10 million degrees. This is the 1 day long video for the 4th of February, and there are going to be 2 repeats of this video. You can see from the video that most of the activity is in 3981, with a little bit in the regions to its north and west. As the movie goes along, that flaring activity seems to reduce quite significantly, so I think this region is quieting down. Coronal mass ejection activity was somewhat higher than yesterday, with 6 coronal mass ejections recorded by the SOHO instrument, and there was a very large one off the northern limb. The solar wind speed dropped to about 400 kilometers per second, so we're not going to get very much contribution from that to affecting the Earth. We're going to show you a movie using the SOHO C2 coronagraph with the SDO helium-2 full disk image in the center for the 4th of February. That will be followed by a similar movie combining the C2 and C3 coronagraphs. The C3 is the large field of view, so you'll see much more of the outer structure of the Sun in that. Now for the forecast. The sunspot number seems stable and probably will remain so, though I'm a little surprised that it didn't increase more with all the extra regions. Flare activity seems to be moderating, and significant geomagnetic activity is unlikely. In a few days' time that would likely change when that coronal hole moves into the western hemisphere of the sun. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Stay safe until next time. Goodbye.